sticks. Those sniper hog lights will do the trick. Suppressed rifles whistling through the trees. Just another red fox brought to his knees. Bloodstains cover the ground and leaves. 3 come in and not a single one leaves. Running at the call, these grays are brazen too.
Welcome to the Sniper Hog Lights podcast, hosted by Jason Brooks and Alexander Junda.
Good morning. My name is Jason Brooks, and this is
Alexander Junda.
And this is the Sniper Hog Light podcast.
We're here.
Episode number 1. So what we're going to get into today is a little bit about ourselves and what drove us into the hunting industry, what got us interested in the hunting industry, which brought me to Texas, the hunting industry.
Yep.
And you being a PA guy, look at you, you're in Texas right now.
He's a Yankee too, don't want to fool you.
Yeah. Anyway, so I grew up in upstate New York, the Adirondack Mountains. My grandfather was a avid deer, bear, coyote, groundhogs. I mean, you name it, he was shooting it. It didn't matter. Loved to fish, loved the outdoors. They grew up eating meat, so everything they harvested, obviously, they put in the freezer, and that's what they lived off of. So when I was 3 years old, my dad decided to get into raccoon hunting with dogs.
Heck
so
yeah.
He ran a lot of walkers. We had some red bones, some English dogs, just different kind of hound dogs that you run raccoons with.
Did you guys ever run coyote hounds too, or is it just...
Only if they had jumped a coyote.
Okay.
Every once in a while they jump one, but it was far in between because they knew what their job was.
Yep.
Yep. If you have a good dog, it's going to do its job.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not running off game.
Right.
Yeah.
No chasing deer, no chasing coyotes, no chasing skunks or anything else that's supposed to be not chased in this whole scenario. But long story short, I grew up all around cornfields. Dairy farms. I mean, it's more country there than it is here.
Oh, big time.
Because a lot of people don't realize that's all it's up there. Because agriculture, I mean, we have an Amish community not far away. Mm-hmm. So it's very, very farm life. I mean, everybody grows up on a farm. Kids drive tractors to school, even today. The local Walmart has a tie-off for the Amish to tie off their horses so they can go shop at. Yeah, they can go shop at Walmart. I mean, if you're going to do it, right?
That's good stuff, though.
It is.
That's wholesome,
Yeah, so, but anyway, long story short, we had a cornfield right across the road, so we could just let the dogs go right at the house, and they'd run across. And I remember the very first time we ever treated a coon. The first time we treated a coon, I was actually 3.5 years old. And the only reason I can remember it, most people don't remember anything they do when they're 3.5 years old. But the only reason why I remember it is because it was about 3 foot of snow on the ground.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. It was good. So my dad had to carry me on his shoulders. So there was no Jason walking through the snow. It was dad's carrying me. Yeah. And our dog treed, and we got there, and it was a coon in the tree. My dad shot it, because back then, furs were worth money.
Heck yeah.
Especially to the, we had up there's still a lot of reservations, Indian reservations. So a lot of the reservations buy your fur.
Oh, I see.
The price of fur back then was crazy. So
you can make a living back then.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So, and that was part of the reason why he did a lot of coon. It was because he sold the furs. So that's what really started me into the nighttime.
Well, because you guys did it a lot at night too.
It was all night.
Yeah.
You don't run coons in the day.
Correct.
Anybody who's ever ran any kind of hounds besides, obviously you run rabbit dogs, but anybody who runs hounds, they know that it's not a daytime.
Yeah, if you're coon hunting, you're cutting that dark.
That's it. So years passed, and we had dads raising dogs. We got AKC, NKC, Grand Night champions. I mean, we're running trials with them. We're doing night hunts. We're doing all this. I mean, we got trackers. We got, you name it, we got it. I mean, he's got into it. Back then, one of my dad's first headlamps was, it had the big old freaking...
Was it the helmet?
Oh, yeah. Helmet, but not just helmet. Full straps.
Oh, geez.
That right down, and just a strap around all the way around of C batteries.
Oh, wow.
So I'm assuming they were rechargeable C batteries because you could recharge it. Mm-hmm. But of course, as anything in a sequence, once one start to go bad, obviously it starts to weather. I actually still have my first one.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's outside.
Oh, nice.
So mine was a 6-bolt. Goes on your side.
Yep.
With a red hard hat. It had a red hard hat, and that's what we ran, and it got the job done, just like any flashlight can get the job done if you want it to get done. But that's what we ran back then, and we enjoyed it. We had a good time. Then when I moved to Arkansas, it was kind of like a lull in our hunting, because obviously we went from avid coon hunters to not knowing a great area around there to hunt. We did hunt a few spots in Seligman, Missouri, which is Mark Twain territory. Very wooded, very dense. Can get rough country, but we did really well. We had fun, and then it wasn't until about 2012, 2010, I went and bought a new bow. I started shooting archery, and that's what really drove me to want to start deer hunting. All the other stuff.
Step in the game up to big stuff.
Right. I mean, a lot of the things my dad did when my grandfather passed away when I was 5. So a lot of the things that my dad did with my grandfather, he didn't really want to do that kind of stuff anymore. So he found his own way. We did coyote hunt in the daytime every once in a while, because New York's rules were a lot different back then. A lot of different rules.
A lot has changed, yeah.
And the rules there are still,
horrible.
Compared to Texas, night and day.
You guys wish you had suppressors yet up there? Or?
Yeah. So, you go. You would go into a lot of details about the things you can and cannot have there.
We'll
leave that for another day. Yeah. But the moved to Oklahoma. Well, first moved to Arkansas. Then we ended up moving to Oklahoma, and of course now I'm getting into my later teens and early 20s, and I wanted to get into archery. I wanted to bow hunt. Yep. So I bought my first bow down in Okmulgee, Oklahoma. Started shooting, and really loved it. I just had a passion for shooting my bow, and that's still a passion I have today. It's one of my favorite ways to hunt. Just the challenge.
When did you kill your first bow kill deer?
My first bow kill deer was actually here in Texas.
Was it?
It was. Okay. So I did have some good spots in Oklahoma. It's just I worked a lot.
Yeah,
just
didn't have time.
Didn't have time to get in stand. If I did, I was late, and then I was sitting for maybe 30 minutes. But I probably spooked anything out walking in, and I tried to make it work, but it just wasn't feasible with my work schedule back then. I worked a lot, 7 days a week, for months on end. So days off were very few in between. So, but I did shoot my bow regardless, and that's what drew me when I took a position in South Texas down in Corpus. It changed my life, because I wasn't ever expecting to be able to hunt in Texas, right? You move to Texas and you're like, everybody's private. There's a lot of private landowners. Getting access on property is not easy.
Nope.
And nobody wants to just say, yeah, sure, you can go hunt it, to a new person that just came to town. So
most of it's money talks and bullshit walks.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't even know that game. I didn't know people leased properties or had leases. Back there.
Well, that's
you had public land in Oklahoma.
We don't have that. Growing up, we don't have that up north.
No, I mean you do a lot of door knocking, obviously with what you do, and you got a lot of public land too. Though Pennsylvania's got a ton of public land. So did Arkansas. When I was in Arkansas, public land, WMAs. You have access to so much ground that guys don't have to have leases to come to Texas. Now, Texas does have a lot of ground. It's just spread out in little patches.
Correct.
Right? So, and you got to have permits to hunt certain spots here and different things. So I really didn't look into it that much, because once again, I just moved to a whole new state.
And you're working.
Whole new business, a whole new part of the company I was with, whole new everything. But it led me to meet Joe. Joe is the reason why.
Now, who's Joe?
Joe Ruiz is the former owner of Sniper Hog Lights. I bought him out in 2021. He was ready to retire and move off to Colorado so he could do some elk hunting and just enjoy the rest of his life bow hunting and doing what he loved. But Joe taught me a lot. He taught me a lot of things. He taught me a lot about, not just hunting, but skinning game, cleaning, processing, cooking. Yep. I mean, you name it. He taught me a lot. A very, very good wealth of knowledge, and that's part of the reason that I guess I still have the desire to do what we do now. Is because I learned a lot. But that goes back to he's a huge bow hunter, right? He does shoot rifles, but he is a bow hunter at heart, and that we shot our bows a lot. But that's what got me into hunting in Texas. Joe invited me to come hunt with him, and at first I never would come. I was like, nah, man, I don't want to step for step.
Right,
you know, I don't want you to think that I'm just friends with you to go hunting with you or anything like that. So it took him a while to persuade me. I mean, I did give him a key to my house. So he's like, because when he'd come down and do barges, he would survey barges for my business and the company I was working for. And I told him, I said, man, you know, if you don't want to pay for a hotel, because he was getting per diem.
Right.
But if you don't want to pay for a hotel,
Just
save that
place.
money, just crash at my place,
Yep.
you know. So it worked out, and he gave me come up, and actually my uncle still has my first buck.
Oh, no way.
Because the first deer I killed was a buck.
Okay.
I killed a nice little 8-point legal buck. I mean, he was right at 14 inches wide. Shot him on the Guadalupe,
Yep.
which is a place that you hunted when you first came down. Great property for deer hunting. Great property for hog hunting. Just because the water.
Yeah.
I mean, the water access was just insane because we were right between two channels of water. So
Yep.
the traffic of animals is just crazy. If we still had it, we'd be stacking pigs every night.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it every night and have different groups nonstop. But that's really my story. And then when obviously I got to meet Rob and hang out with Rob, and I started deer hunting with Rob more, and I kind of deer hunted with Rob and night hunted with Joe.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the best.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm still working a full-time job.
Right.
So
You were trying to balance.
I'm a balance, yeah. Weekends was Joe's, you know, and then, you know, during the day I'd go out with Rob, help him fill feeders or set up cameras, do whatever we usually do as far as maintenance is concerned, and then at night we'd go out and try to get some content, shooting pigs over the feeders and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, but that's what kind of led me into sniper hog lights.
Right.
I mean, actually I was down here till 2016. From 2012 to 16, I hung out with Joe and Rob almost every weekend. I drive up from Corpus, which is about an hour and 15 away, and I ended up moving back to Northwest Arkansas though, which it didn't stop me from hunting. Right, I still went to hunt WMAs.
You started hunting up there.
I did. Now the night hunting up there is a little different, right? So you know you got to have permits to hunt at night for one, and most of the time it's only on private property.
Right.
Well, if you don't have private property up
You're-
there,
yeah,
then you're just not going to night hunt. So it made it really hard for me to be able to help them the way I was here, because you know I was going and helping Joe do expos and doing different things that he was going.
Getting some content at night.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I moved there for a girl. It didn't work out. It's not bad that it didn't work out. It's not good that it didn't work out. It was just it just didn't work out. Two separate places in our lives, two different goals. But I was like, I got to get back to Texas.
Yeah.
Like it was fun. I enjoyed it here. But I'm not going back to Corpus because I didn't like Corpus.
Right.
I was like, but I want to get back down there and hang out with Rob and Joe, and those are the kind of people I wanted to surround myself with. So I ended up moving back in 2018. Ironically, I met my wife like a month before I moved. She wasn't my wife yet, but I've met her, and that made it a little interesting because long distance relationships and all that other stuff. But it led into where we are today. I mean, I wouldn't change any of it. You know, I've met all the people along the way that I've met, all the people I know, all the people that have come and gone, regardless if it was good, bad, ugly. I appreciate all of them because I learned something from every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I guess that's the best piece of advice. If I was ever to give anybody advice for anything, is no matter what, you can learn from somebody.
Oh yeah.
Even if they know nothing about what we're doing.
Correct.
Because they're going to have a different outlook on the approach and be like, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you that? And then that makes you think like, oh my gosh, okay.
That's something we might not ever thought about.
And it might work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, don't get me wrong, we have our own niches and ways of going about it, but that's really the nut and the nitty gritty of how I got involved with Sniper Hog Lights. And, you know, of course, the history of Sniper Hog Lights is what we can get into a little bit
we'll get into
later,
that.
but, you know, it's, that just getting to know Rob and Joe was pretty much the catapult into learning their business, learning about everything, learning, you know, where Rob started, which is right there, you know, that's made in Texas. He made them all by hand.
Correct.
That was the first bow light.
And what year was that?
2007. Yeah. So, and he just only sold them on Texas Bow Hunter. You know, that was the only way you could get one or know about them back then. That was a forum because Facebook wasn't Facebook like it is today. Back then, it was you had to have a college
To be on
a
Facebook.
college,
Correct.
a college email to be able to get in Facebook.
Yep.
So, and then of course they made it public and then everything changed. But enough about me. What about you? Who is Alexander Junda, and what does Alexander Junda have anything to do or became part of this whole freaking thing we call Team Getting It Done / Never Know Till You Tally Ho?
Ooh,
I
that's
mean,
a good
come
one.
on. Tell me what you got.
Well, Alexander Junda, 32 years old, from Pennsylvania.
Not single.
Not single. Sorry, ladies.
Throwing it out there.
Yeah.
He was coming off like this was like a dating game.
That would be a good spin-off.
That was. You were definitely going there.
But yeah, I grew up in Pennsylvania. Well, actually, we'll step back. My family's all from New Jersey. We don't tell a lot of people that in Pennsylvania. But yes, my family's from Jersey.
Very Jersey.
You love it. And anyway, we ended up moving to Pennsylvania in 90. It would have been 2000, but in 99, my parents were looking to make the move, and we ended up buying. That's Cooper, by the way, in case anybody wants to know.
This is my boy. Yeah. He is my baby.
He had to get his 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
So anyway, we ended up buying some property up in Tioga County, Pennsylvania, which is way up northwest Pennsylvania, right by the New York border. I think
Beautiful country.
Oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And our neighbors that we ended up, the house next to us, the old man was a killer. If it moved, he hunted it. So me being a
Now we know where he gets it from.
Oh yeah, Bruce is to blame if anybody wants to know. Because my dad was a city boy from northern Jersey, and he never hunted, did a little fishing, but he did not hunt. Like, that was not a thing. My mom, same thing. Nobody hunted in my family. So they take this 5-year-old kid and throw him to a guy like Bruce, who he had beagles. He hunted fox with hand calls and a spotlight back in the day before any of these cool things that we have now. Deer back then there was nothing about horns. It was, if it's brown, it's down, we're filling the freezer, boys. So he trapped and he loved to fish. So my summers were spent up there, and it changed my life, man. It really did, because then we ended up we sold that place to where we live now in Lehigh Valley of Pennsylvania, but still every hunting season me and Dad load up and we go up there for deer season, and then run the dogs. Beagles were a big part of my life growing up. They still are. And when Bruce passed away, that's how I got my first hound, was one of his last dogs. He wanted me to take her home, and never did when he was alive. Well, funny story, he passes away like a month later, and well, had to take the dog home. So got the
You
dog.
didn't really have a choice.
I didn't have a choice. So
Dog needed a home.
she got a home, I got a pup, aka Shuka, and it was just a downhill slide or an uphill slide, however way you want to look at it from there, having beagles. So
And you've had several.
I've had a lot. So,
Shuka was a good dog.
Oh yeah.
She was. I killed my first rabbit over her.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So
In Tioga.
in Tioga County.
Yep. But and then
It's a different kind of hunting.
oh, watching him the first couple times. Oh my gosh! If I had a GoPro, people, oh fuck. But anyway, and then I don't know. I'm trying to think. Night hunting wise, I mean, we always had chickens at my house. Always chickens, ducks, goats, and for years growing up, I mean, the predators would massacre our flock of birds. You'd wake up in the morning and it looked like an explosion of feathers, you know. And always mom and dad were pissed. I mean, you're losing money every time.
Oh, yeah.
Every time you lose birds, I mean, they're not cheap. So I was always like, wow. I'm like, how are we not hearing this? How am I not seeing this? And, you know, slowly growing up, watching the different hunting shows, Primos, Predator hunting back in the day, Fox Pro, all those different original Predator hunting shows, was like, wow, this is cool, man. You know, wow, you can call these things in. And I don't know, I got my first call when I was like, I think 13, called my first red fox in, and that was it. I mean, it was game over.
Well, to be fair, when you see your first set of bouncing red eyes,
it does
if your heart don't start pumping, even for a new person, even for somebody who's done it forever, if as soon as you see red eyes, it's adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
And they're coming towards you, and you don't know what they're gonna do except they're coming in, and then your goal is to not let them leave.
Right. And I, shot my first fox. Ended up calling my first coyote in from my bedroom window. Maybe the next year after that. So, but it was really tough to get into it because nobody did it around me. Like hunting at night, that was like taboo. You don't do that. But it was legal. It's been legal in Pennsylvania for as long as I can remember. But again, we were only allowed to do it with lights. It was literally, I could say, I was a self-taught predator hunter. It was just watching videos and this, that, and everything. And once I started, figuring out a little bit, I couldn't get enough. I mean, I was out every single night that I could.
So you were doing this, and obviously lights were the only way you could do it. So what brought you to sniper hog lights? That's the ultimate question.
We're getting there.
Oh, you're slow rolling me.
Because easy.
Right.
Because I want to go back to when I first started. The first lights that we had access to. I don't know if you definitely remember them. It was those Primo's lights with the big square battery pack. Pop it on the gun. The thing maybe lasted an hour, and you couldn't see. I mean, you were shooting at blurry eyes at best.
Do you want to know a secret?
Go ahead.
Sniper hog lights was already out then. You just didn't know who they were.
Well, they were not in Cabela's, and that's where we went to shop. So,
and we're still not in Cabela's.
I know,
because we are sniper hog lights, and that's just Cabela's is not our realm. We don't. It's not anything against Cabela's. It's just not a. We haven't gone into big box.
Not an avenue.
We haven't gone into big box. We like keeping it small, and because we are a small business. But
you got to think when I started, right? Amazon really wasn't a thing, so.
Amazon shouldn't be a thing now.
Well,
but yes, you're right. I get it. Yeah.
Internet shopping was not what it is now. So
Sure.
if you wanted hunting gear, I think we got our Cabela's in Hamburg in 2003. I'm gonna say it was 03. I remember I was in third because we went out there for a field trip to Cabela's. So if you wanted gear when I first started, I mean, you got in the car with Dad and hey, we need this, that, or the other thing, and you went to Cabela's. That's how it was. So. I didn't know anything about lights.
So this Primos, did it have where you flip down the red?
Yes, it had the cover.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it wasn't even a LED light. It was a halogen bulb.
Yes.
That had a.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that's what we, when Rob wanted to evolve into LEDs. That's the whole reason why LEDs was fresh right then.
Right.
That's what drove him to get into LEDs was because you lost so much light output by putting over just that filter.
It's a blur. I mean, maybe pick them up at 100 yards. You know what I mean?
If you were lucky. But it did get you in the outdoors.
It did. It's amazing we didn't shoot more deer back in the day, to tell you the truth. Because, boy, when you saw something bouncing, you're like, oh, yeah, here it comes. It might be 5 deer, but you thought you had 5 coyotes about to run you over. So that's how I started, and then it turned into LED little flashlights were coming out. We were duct taping them to the end of our shotgun barrels to kill gray fox in the brush and this, that, and the everything. And then I had a Facebook started coming around. We started posting more pictures and this and that, and I had somebody message me off of a Predator page. I posted a picture. He's like, hey man, we don't have a guy in PA, blah blah blah. Would you like to join our pro staff? And I was like, cool. It was another light company for a couple months. And funny story was I was repping for a company that I never even held one of their lights in my hand.
Would you like to?
I know you have one.
I have a few.
So anyway, one day that same guy calls me. It's like, hey, we're leaving this company to go to a company called Sniper Hog Lights. Are you in or are you out? And I'm like, who the hell's Sniper Hog Lights?
I mean, who is Sniper Hog
Lights?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
A lot of people did not.
So, long story short, I was like, hey, buddy, you got me into this. Sure, I'll follow you. And that was the winter of 2017.
Yes.
Yes, it was the winter of 2017 because he's like, hey, if you want some lights, message this guy.
Who's this guy?
So
the guy that worked at Gavilan Fertilizer.
Yes,
message the guy that works at somewhere else.
Doesn't even work for Sniper Hog Lights. So I messaged him and I was like, hey man, I was told that he's like, yeah man, what do you want? And I'm like, oh, just I just want a light. He goes, well, which one? And I'm like, oh, there's more. There's options. I was like,
there's multiples.
So my first ones were 266 LRXs because I was like, oh, that's what everybody's talking about. I had no idea there was any other lights. And then he's like, hey buddy, if you ever get a chance, you want to come to Texas and shoot a pig, give me a shout. Okay. So then springtime rolls around and I was like, hey, were you serious about the whole coming down to Texas to kill a pig? Because
biggest mistake.
Stop. And anyway, he's like, yeah, man, come on down. So I booked the plane ticket. You picked me up from definitely Houston. Yeah. Picked me up from Houston and
hung out for a weekend. 3-4 days.
Yeah, the room that we are sitting in right now, I will never forget it. I'm sitting in this room, and this is the packaging room.
This was the packaging room. This was the office. This was the Sniper Hog Light office started right here.
And right to my right, behind me, is the living room. So there was a couch in there. I was sleeping on the couch, and I'll never forget it. I don't think we hunted that first night. Maybe we did. I don't know. Anyway, regardless, just meet these guys. They don't know me. I don't know them. Just meet them and go to bed. I wake up into the morning to that sound of a tape gun like scared the living shit out of me waking up. And here's this guy, Rob.
So I don't think you met him the day before, did you?
Yes,
you did.
Back porch.
Yeah.
Well, and I met Joe too, next to his truck.
It was very... We won't go into 9 Iron. Anybody who knows the backstory on 9 Iron, you'll get this one.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one day we'll go into the 9 Iron, but today we'll leave it out.
But that's how I met these guys. So anyway, long story short, ended up, me and you went out, killed my first pig, and well, now here I am. I'm sitting next to you in Texas. How many years later?
Too many. 8. Yeah, I mean, it was what we were trying to do is I wanted people to learn what I learned, right? So when I hung out with Rob and Joe early on, I learned about every company that was coming on the market.
Correct.
Because I was around it.
It was getting flooded at that point.
Right, and you had a lot of companies across the industry that were popping up here and there, and every time one did, you could just see the wind out of Rob's sail, right? Because you start from this, which no other light company has an example of this because they never made one. Okay, when you make something, an LED light, completely from the ground up for a bow, and you just keep evolving, and then other companies come out with a similar design, and some guys say, well, why didn't you patent it? Because the problem with lights and patenting lights is, I mean, you can look at some competitors. There's multiple multicolor lights out there now, right? Even though there's a patent on it, there's still other companies selling multicolor interchangeable lights that don't have a patent for it. So right there should tell you that a patent doesn't matter because there's a workaround.
Correct.
Right. So
why change one thing?
Right. You just change a little bit of something and you can work around the patent. So for the price tag of what you'd have to do at the patent office, it really wasn't beneficial to say, hey, let's patent a light.
Yeah.
Especially because he knew he was going to evolve from this, right? This right here literally was
Why don't you tell a little bit what is that? How did he get there?
So this is the hog light. This was the original one that Rob built by hand, and he could build 10 in 10 days because he had to allow the epoxy to set up on the lens each one. So you could see how that could be an issue when you got people who want them and they see them and a guy buys one and then his buddy sees it and they want one, because this was the brightest of the bright back then.
Right.
I mean, you're talking 2007 LEDs, especially colored LEDs, red, green, even blues or anything like that. They were just now becoming even known.
Correct.
White LEDs have been out for a little while, but not color.
Yeah, the technology was so slim back then.
100%. So, and that's where Rob really excelled with this. But what he did is he took 2 1-inch, and I still got aluminum tubes down in the old shop, that he has cut up. But he welded them together, aluminum them together, and then he epoxied. So the battery is actually in here. So I have to unscrew this little set screw right here, and this little piece pops out, and you can pull the battery out. So I can still recharge this battery.
What battery did that take?
18650.
Yeah, it was an 18650.
Yep.
Okay, yep.
So he just aluminum welded these together and epoxied the lenses, wired up. He literally started this from a $100 bill. It cost him $100 to buy all the pieces, to build the first one, and then he had bought enough stuff with that $100 to be able to build multiple. Right. So that's how he can literally say he started from a $100 bill. Yeah. Because granted, this was his personal one, but he built another one,
right.
Sold it, built another one, sold it, built another one, sold it, and so on and so forth. And that's how it evolved. Well, then as he got busier, 10 in 10 days wasn't going to cut it.
No,
right?
guys, the word was getting out.
The word was getting out. Yeah. Guys were wanting them. So that's when he started to take the white LED light the tubes, taking all the innards out of it, rebuilding it, epoxying, doing the same thing. Epoxy the lenses,
colored LED,
100%. Putting soldering the LEDs on the driver boards. Building the whole innards from the ground up.
Yep.
And that's when he finally settled on the mini sniper. He had 3 other, little ones in between that he called, had different names for along the mini sniper name. But then he had a final one, and then he came out with the first rifle light, which was the Destroyer.
Correct.
And the Destroyer was considered a 250 light. A lot of guys would, if you want to know kind of what a Destroyer looks like today, it would be Cyclops light.
Yes.
Cyclops little tactical hog hunting light.
Yeah.
That is what set the tone, and that is, if you go back and look at any
that is the design that every single company has copied over the years.
But that's the one they decided to go.
Yeah.
So you could look at one and be like, whose is it?
Right.
Right. There was a company out there called Sniper Light.
Yes.
That, of course, they're not around anymore, obviously, but there was so many, and we've had people reach out to us, and even Rob had guys that were buying competitor stuff, which the competition, when they decided, which at that time was a dealer, when they decided to do their own, because Rob would make an exclusive dealer. Correct. They decided to do their own lineup. They actually made it to their manufacturer that they went with decided to make it to where it was an interchangeable LED. Well, when you have a reflector around an LED, and then you have a flat lens over the top of that, when you go to set that another LED, if it's not perfectly centered, that beam is not going to shine straight.
Left, right, up, down, all over.
Guys were not getting any distance if they changed from a red to a green, or a white to a green, or red to a white.
It was essentially a floodlight at that point.
Barely. You were getting almost no shine out of it.
Right.
And so a lot of guys were calling Rob saying, "Hey, I bought your light," and Rob's like, "That's not my light, but I can fix it."
So he was fixing other people's lights.
He was literally there. He said, "If you ship it to me, I'll fix it, but you will not be able to change the LED out."
Right.
So that spoke volumes to me on the integrity of Sniper Hog Lights and the integrity of Rob.
Was he doing that for free?
Oh, 100%.
Oh my gosh.
No, it was just Rob.
Not even his life.
No, not his. But and that goes to even multiple times where people have bought other people's stuff, and they call us and they're wanting to upgrade. And we talked them out of upgrading because we just told them how to use their light properly. The one that they already bought, And that's what it's really about. I'm not here to sit here and go, you need to run a Sniper Hog Light, or you need to run what you need to run, we run. We try to produce the biggest, baddest, best across the whole spectrum, from our smallest bow light now with the 30 LRX all the way up. Yeah. And I don't want to get a lot into details.
Well, that just speaks volumes about the customer service of how Rob ran his business.
100%. Yeah. And customer rapport is what kick-started Sniper Hog Lights off. But the biggest downfall to Rob was a light builder. Rob was a tech guy. He had background in build
TVs, video games.
Well, video games. He rebuild
Yeah.
arcade games. You know, so your arcade games, Pac-Man, Galaga. You know, the where you get on the bikes and
Yeah.
He fixed all that stuff. So that's what he kind of
Very techie background.
very. So he knew driver boards. He knew how to solder wires. He knew how to do all kinds of different stuff with that technology. So he just took that and then learned.
The LEDs.
The man has so much he can literally look at LED specs and tell you, even though a company releases new LEDs, and this is why it's hard for us because we always based everything off of red.
Correct.
We want our red light to shine the furthest, no matter what. That's what we go for. We want the most power out of the red. So, because the other ones are a lot easier to get to shine further, right?
Absolutely.
Because the technology's there already. But with red, but now, even though a company comes out with a brand new LED, he can look at the specs and say it's not going to outshine ours.
Nice.
Even though it's just because what you could power it at may be higher, maybe this, but they're making it so you can power it higher, so you could run it in floodlights. So like a.
But you got to be careful
studio
with that.
lights.
You got to be careful with that because you get a lot of dimming then, correct?
Not in our application.
Oh, okay.
Like we plug it into a wall.
Right.
The lights on this.
Yep.
Used for lighting up disco lights.
Oh, yeah.
Different. Where you got your LED strip. Any sort of kind of lighting you're going to have in an event center or anywhere else. Those are what those LEDs are designed for. They're going bigger, badder, better. But in our realm, that bigger, badder, better is not always the best.
Correct.
Because you're trying to take even the slightest amount of output, but just make it shine as far as you can.
Right.
So that's the difference, right? And that's what sets us apart from everybody else, because we actually share candelas. If you go to our light distance page on our website, we can go over candelas. We go over lux, the different things that we like that we measure, because we measure light output all the way even with IR. So, but that's just we got so much to talk about, and we obviously this is our first episode, so we don't want to.
No, and that's what I was going to tell you. Yeah, we can go into detail on all the specs and how we measure and whatnot on another episode. So.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
But what else you got?
I don't know. What do you want to gain out of this? I guess for the people listening.
I want them to.
Or for them to gain, I should say.
One, I want them to learn sniper hog lights for us.
Correct.
Right? We're not a huge business. Like a lot of people think sniper hog lights because of the name, and a lot of guys recommend us and stuff. The business is not. Our shop is 19
Right
steps
next door.
to the right here. We operate lean, but like you said before, customer service is still number one.
Yeah, has to be.
I try my hardest to get back to everybody as fast as possible. Have an issue, because no matter the time of night, because I want to make sure that they're taken care of. Or if they're out hunting, I've been in that situation with multiple products I've ran over the years.
And some didn't work while you were in the field.
As soon as I got out there, it wasn't working, and I got to turn around and go home.
Yeah.
And that is the worst feeling in the world. It's not. You're wasting your time. You're wasting gas. You're wasting a lot of things, and that's one of the things that I think of as a hunter myself, right? Because.
I mean, how many times have guys called you? Literally, they walk back to their truck and you talk them through a situation they were missing or something, and they were back in the field killing.
A good buddy of mine will back that one up. Trevor Schwartzmiller. Out of Ohio.
Trevor. Yeah.
Trevor. Trevor's a great guy. He is a coyote killing machine, but I remember Trevor calling, and remind you, when I talked to Trevor, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. And I had to be up at 6 a.m. to go to work at Gavilon Fertilizer, not Sniper Hog Lights. But I still talk to him.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my job. But I want people to know that I've always gone and tried to have the best. Even though I wasn't part of Sniper Hog Lights back then, I still took pride in being able to help people.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to learn it. And that's why I want people to learn. That's why we do the instructional videos. We go over troubleshooting lights through our social media platforms, and I try to share as much as possible so guys can fix their own stuff in the field to even get them by for that night.
So did you get him at 1 o'clock in the morning? Was he able to hunt the rest of the night?
No, because he was running a competitor's light that was just flat out not working.
Got it.
I took him through every way, because all the lights are designed very similar.
Correct.
But his problem was a wire problem. I can't fix wires over the phone.
Yeah, no.
Soldering and there's more to it.
Not in the field.
Not in the field. It wasn't a field thing. I mean, if he had some wire cutters and, you know, some black tape, we could have made her happen probably, but.
I mean, I know I've had some mess ups over the years, especially in the early years, and I've called you from the truck. Hey, buddy, did you do this?
Nope.
Okay.
Sure didn't. But there's so many. It can be. Now, the only one that's hard that we have now is the headlamps.
Right.
The headlamps are our hardest thing to troubleshoot in the field.
More just wires.
Unless you have two guys that are hunting together that have headlamps.
Yeah.
And that's just because there is wires involved.
Yeah.
And when you have wires involved, it makes things a lot harder.
Correct.
But you got a buddy sitting next to you that has a headlamp that's exactly the same. It makes it
Well,
really
and the design now, yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, we're gonna keep bringing them to you. We're gonna be talking a lot more about, you know, hunts.
Yep.
We got a lot of hunts together that are
geez.
some epic stories that we're gonna share. We're gonna have on different people. You know, I want to bring on some real people, right? Guys that do it
Day
often,
in, day out, and
but not guys you would hear on a podcast, right?
Correct.
That you don't get to hear from on the day to day.
the blue collar hunters.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a good word. Blue collar. But they're not scared to get out there and get lack of sleep to go kill predators or hogs or anything like that. So, but yeah, so that's kind of our goal with this. We'll see how she plays out.
Yeah.
But it's definitely been fun so far.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This was good.
Good little chat. Hopefully the video plays back as good as this sounds.
Oh yeah, this is
pretty good.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. And if you have anything else to add before we sign off,
No,
here?
it was good. We'll do another one here in a bit and see how you guys like the first one. We'll definitely get some feedback, I'm sure, from our.
We would appreciate the feedback.
Yeah.
Let us know and
You want us to change anything, add anything? You know, like I said, this is our first run here, but I'm happy.
This is more of an introduction than
Yes.
anything. The next one will be a little bit more.
We'll go into detail.
We'll talk about lights and different things and scenarios and whatever. And like I said, we'll start bringing some folks on. We'll talk about what they do in the field and when some of the things they use and what makes them be successful. So anyway, guys, I hope everybody enjoyed this.
Yeah,
and
thanks for tuning in.
And other than that, we're going to sign off. Hope everybody has a blessed day. And yeah, don't work too hard.
Have a good one, guys.